Hello and welcome. This is third lecture in the IR series, and this lecture becomes important because हम इस lecture में world के major disputed regions cover करने वाले हैं. And why? Because UPSC पूछ रहा है इन disputed regions के बारे में, and it is asking consistently, and it is also asking about the communities that are suffering because of these disputes, right? From that perspective, this lecture become very important, and I want you to listen these lectures till the end, because we will cover many regions which have relevance from the UPSC's perspective, right? So let us start. So first region is SAQB region. So SAQB region becomes important because this region this region is in the South America, and it is occupied. It is a part of the Guyana. Around two-thirds of the SAQB is a part of the Guyana, right? And remember, Guyana has around 30% of the Indian origin population, which migrated in 1838 as indentured labor, right? So remember this. From that perspective, Guyana becomes important. And what happened in 2015, off the coast of Guyana or of the coast of SAQB, there was major oil discovery, and because of that, Venezuela revived its claim on the SAQB region, right? So this, but what happened? But what Guyana has to say about that? The boundary dispute has already been settled in 1899, and the SAQB is now theirs, right? So this was all about the SAQB and Venezuela conflict. Not much information is needed about these topics, because only surface level information needed on these topics, right? So next is Tigray War. So Tigray is a region in Ethiopia, northwest region of the Ethiopia, and it is bordering Eritrea. So remember, there was a time when Eritrea was also part of Ethiopia, but it was separated in 1993. And why this region is in news? Because the ethnic Tigray people and the Ethiopian government are in conflict with each other, on the pretext that Ethiopian army claim that the Tigray people, Tigray militia, taken control of the military headquarters in the Mekele. तो इथियोपियन गवर्नमेंट ने क्लेम किया है कि जो टाइग्रे पीपल है और टाइग्रे मिलिशिया है, उन्होंने जो मेकेले में जो टाइग्रे का हेडक्वार्टर है मेकेले में, उस पर कंट्रोल लिया है. एंड इसकी प्रोटेक्स्ट में इथियोपियन आर्मी ने टाइग्रे पीपल पे वार बोला है, राइट? सो दिस इज़ द रीजन. नाउ इन दिस कॉन्फ्लिक्ट, Eritrea is also siding with the Ethiopian government. So this is a three front war. Three stakeholders are there: Eritrea government, Ethiopia government, and Tigray government. And it is considered as the deadliest in the recent history. So in this war, there are three types of ethnicity. One is Tigray people. Second is Amhara. Remember, Amhara. So Amhara is another group of ethnic people which are around 30% of the Ethiopian population. So Tigray people do not like the dominance of the Amhara people, and they want this region to be declared as autonomous. Remember this. Next is the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. So Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is a dam which is being built in the Ethiopia, which is on the Blue Nile river, and this dam is important for Ethiopian because it is considered Africa's largest infrastructure project, which is around which can produce 5 megawatts of electricity, right? So but this dam is in conflict because Sudan and Egypt are opposing the construction of this dam, because it will lower the water levels in the Nile river. So this is just a surface level information you need about this. Next is Kurdistan separatism. So Kurdistan is a region which sides along the border of Syria, Iraq, Iran, and Turkey, and this is the habitat of, this is where Kurdish people reside, and they want their this area to be declared as a separate country. So this is a Kurdish separatism movement that is ongoing conflict between Turkey, Syria, Iraq, and Kurdish people. So remember, this is a Kurdish area. Now next is Nagorno-Karabakh conflict. So this is a territorial conflict between ethnic Armenian and Azeri people in the Azerbaijan. So Armenians are Christian and Azerbaijani people are Muslims, majority supported by the Turkish government. And this region was historically Armenia and Azerbaijan were part of Russia. तो रशिया के पार्ट थे वो. They got in 1991 this got separated from the Russia and become separate countries, and from that time the tension become more because the people residing in the Nagorno-Karabakh wants to integrate with the Armenia, because these are mainly Armenian people, but historically Azerbaijan has a control over this region, and hence there is a conflict. Next is Kuril Island dispute. So this dispute is between Russia and Japan. So this is the location of the Kuril Islands, and currently Russia controls this island, but Japan is claiming this island as their own, right? And remember, this is south of the Russia's Kamchatka peninsula. So this is Kamchatka peninsula of the Russia's, and this is Kuril Island, which looks very near to the Japan, right? So remember the Kuril Island dispute and the location of the Kuril Islands. Next is Russia-Ukraine war. You know, this is ongoing war between the Russia and Ukraine, and the basic why Russia went on war with Ukraine, because Russia wanted this Donetsk and Luhansk region and Crimea region under its control, and it also wanted to influence the Crimea Ukraine's policy towards the Europe. And remember, this region is important. These regions are highly industrialized region, right? So control over this region can benefit Russia economically. So again, there are around 49% people in this region which supports the Russian Federation, and they want to be part of the Russia, right? Again, also Russia wanted to pressure Ukraine not to join NATO. Hence Russia is trying to control these regions. These are the important regions of the Russia Ukraine which Russia wants to control: Luhansk, Donetsk, Zaporizhzhia, Kherson, and Crimea. Crimea is already annexed in 2014, right? Next is Senkaku Island dispute. So Senkaku is currently under Japanese control, but these islands are being claimed by the China and the Taiwan. And location of the channel is very near to the Taiwan. Look at this. So nothing nothing major information about this. Just remember the location. And this dispute is between Senkaku Island. Dispute is between China and Japan, because there are so many islands in South China Sea that you may get confused. This is in East China Sea, not in South China Sea. So just remember the locations. Next is Spratly Island dispute. So Spratly Island is a group of island. This is the Spratly Island is a group of island, and the dispute between Spratly Island are claimed by Philippines, Vietnam, and some part of Malaysia, Brunei. So almost all these countries in South China Sea claims control over Spratly Island. Again, there is a Scarborough Island which is claimed by the Philippines, right, and also claimed by the China. So this is a 9-dashed line, which is the whole of the South China Sea is the region. The islands in the South China Sea are claimed by the China. So this is the Paracel Island. The dispute between Paracel is between Vietnam and China. Scarborough Shoal is a dispute between the Philippines and the China, and Spratly Island is a major dispute between all the countries. The dispute between the Brunei, Philippines, Vietnam, South China. So they all claim the part of the Spratly Islands. Next is China-Indonesia dispute over the Natuna Island. China acknowledges sovereignty over this island, but Indonesia has sovereignty, but they claim that the water around them is theirs, and they have right to fishing in the EEZ of this Natuna Island. So remember the Natuna Island. Next is 2023 conflict in Sudan. So this is a conflict between the rival faction of the same military. Remember this. And what are these factions? Sudani Armed Force and Paramilitary Rapid Support Force. So इन दोनों force के बीच में ये conflict हुआ, and many people are being killed in this conflict, and this conflict is taking place in the two important region of the Sudan, that is Khartoum and Darfur region. So UPSC ने Darfur region के बारे में पूछा है बहुत बार. So remember Darfur region, and Darfuri people are being subjected to severe ethnic cleansing many times in the past years. When there was conflict erupted, Darfuri people suffered a lot. So Sudan comprises largely South Sudanese Arab, about 70%. Then there are other ethnicities such as Fur, Beja, Nuba and Falata. So remember this is a graph of Sudan, and this is the Darfur region, and this is the Khartoum region, where major centers of the conflict, and conflict is happening between the two factions of the same military. So remember, and this region is a famous region, which is many times UPSC ask about the Darfur region and Darfuri people. Now the Nigerian crisis. We talk about the Nigeria in the last lecture. So Nigerian crisis is fueled by the Nigerian currency crisis, where government forced citizens to use digital currency. Right, here is government forced sponsored central bank currency, and government forced people to use the digital currency, and to oppose that, the coup happened, and coup is led by the commander of the Niger. Coup is led by the commander of Nigerian Presidential Guard. तो प्रेसिडेंशियल गार्ड ने ही एक कूप को अंजाम दिया, एंड इट बिकम्स राइट, एंड दिस केम टू लाइमलाइट. Now list of conflicts in the Sahel region. Last lecture में we saw about the Sahel region, and this region had so many conflicts, right? Chad, Burkina Faso, Mauritania, Nigeria. These countries are consistently experiencing coups and major domestic conflicts. Now the next is Rohingya crisis. Nothing much to know about this Rohingya crisis. Just know that Rohingya are Muslims in Myanmar, and which are being persecuted on their religious identity, right? And they are being forced to leave their country. And now the Rohingya, majority of the Rohingya forced to flee across border states, and their majority residing in the Bangladesh.